And I would class myself as a moderate, and neither Republican nor Democrat. And in fact, I have voted overwhelmingly for Democrats historically, overwhelmingly. Like I'm not sure. I might never have voted for a Republican, just to be clear.
Right.
Now this election, I will. The Democratic Party is overly controlled by the unions and by the trial lawyers, particularly the class action lawyers. And generally, if you'll see something that is not in the interest of the people, on the Democrat side, it's going to come because of the unions, which is just another form of monopoly, and the trial lawyers. That's where actions will be happening from the Democrat side. They're not in the interest of the people. And then, to be fair, on the Republican side, there's if you say like where there's something like not ideal happening, it's because of corporate evil and religious zealotry. That's generally where the bad things will be coming from on the Republican side, that are not representative of the people.
So Elon Musk wants to point out there, looking for a little bit more attention. I voted Democratic my whole life. I mean, I don't think I've even like considered a Republican, but now I'm totally Republican. They've red pilled me. I can't remember. I assume it's red pilling if you're going to go Republican. I never paid attention to those stupid terms, but he has pointed out the reasons why. I saw there it was unions and trial lawyers when it comes to Democrats because they don't represent the people. Unions are the reasons why they don't represent the people. I want you guys to think about that for a minute. And also Republican, to be fair, Republicans, they've got corporate evil and religious zealots. So if you just break down those two things and you say, now I'm voting Republican, that means that you're in favor of religious zealots and corporate evil. I think that makes sense with Elon Musk. Let's look into some details here because all these things talking about the Democratic Party and union busting. Let's go to details of why he doesn't like that. Tesla's found guilty of union busting. It's weird. The NLRB says that Elon Musk threatened workers and fired one for union organizing. Guess that's why he's not voting Democratic anymore. Continuing on, in 2018, Tesla CEO Elon Musk wrote on Twitter, "Nothing stopping Tesla team at our car plant from voting union. Could do so tomorrow if they wanted. But why pay union dues and give up stock options for nothing?" That tweet began an investigation into the company by the NLRB into union busting at the company. It's not the first time this has happened. The National Labor Relations Board as well, again on Thursday, upheld a 2019 ruling that Tesla had illegally fired a worker involved in union organizing and that the company's chief executive, Elon Musk, had illegally threatened workers with the loss of stock options if they unionized. So as again, we're talking about the religious zealotry on the Republican side and their corporate evil. Again, people that he's now voting with. In case you guys don't really remember, also his Tesla company has some vested interest in the Congo and they're mining cobalt for his batteries using child labor. Apple and Tesla are among those tech giants that were being sued over that. The Democratic Republic of Congo. And so a little more details on that. So Apple, Alphabet, Dell, Microsoft, there's more companies here, and Tesla are being sued by 14 Congolese families for quote, knowingly benefiting from the cruel use of children as young as 6 years old in the Democratic Republic of the Congo to mine cobalt, which is a key component in lithium ion rechargeable batteries. There's one reason why, before I let you jump in here, Francesca, because his company's just been kicked off the S&P 500's ESG Index. There's a reason behind that, because Tesla, from its ESG Index, as part of its annual update to the list, they've been kicked off that, as I mentioned, sorry there. Meanwhile, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, and even oil and gas multinational ExxonMobil were still included on that list, which might be a reason why he's upset about this whole thing, because he did respond. The S&P 500 index uses environmental, social, and governance data to rank and effectively recommend companies to investors. Its criteria include hundreds of data points per company that pertain to the way business affects the planet and treat stakeholders beyond shareholders, including customers, employees, vendors, partners, and neighbors. So it said that Tesla's quote, lack of low carbon strategy and codes of business conduct, along with racism and poor working conditions reported at Tesla's factory in Fremont, California, affected their score. And also Tesla's handling of an investigation by the National Highway Transportation Safety Administration also weighed on this score. There's a lot here. I know I laid a bunch at your feet here, but if you can try sift through a little bit this, Francesca. And maybe he's just telling us the story. He's just being honest. Elon Musk is letting us know, I'm now a Republican because I'm for religious zealotry and evil corporate greed.
I mean, at least he's honest with that part of it, right? He's got that right. And I would argue that pretty much the only difference in terms of some Democrats and some Republicans, they both have corporate greed, but one has religious zealotry. And that's a big thing to have. That is currently, as we're gonna talk about, criminalizing people for having miscarriages. And of course, abortion rights are on the chopping block. So that's a big difference, but I just love how, can I just point out, small detail of that video. Whenever anyone blurs out their background, look, I get it. Most people are like, I don't wanna clean this up, whatever. My man is blurring out like his giant mansion. Like he is literally in front of a cobalt mine. There are children mining behind him right now. All right, and the best part is that it like blurs out also his weird little prepubescent mustache that he's got going on as well. It's
I didn't notice
all kinds of gross and wrong and weird. But like Elon, we knew you were a Republican. Like, yeah, I think maybe some Elon fans didn't know he was necessarily Republican. They probably like, no, I thought he was more of an independent, right? But like, of course we know you're gonna go for the people who have the most anti-union views and also who only gun for their own tax breaks. That's it, corporate tax breaks and anti-union views and union busting. And what's funny about that is that Democrats also union bust like crazy. And yet here he is, like so many CEOs, like so many wealthy people that you're gonna see talking on, Money Box or whatever that show is, Monkey Box, I don't know.
Squawk? Is it Squawk?
Money
Box.
Money Madness, what I'm saying, one of those shows, and they're always like, well, the special interests, and I feel like they've stopped using the line special interests, a lot of these financial pundits, because what they always mean by that are unions. But ever since like Citizens United ruling, and ever since the like prevalence of dark money, when you say special interests and you mean unions, people laugh in your face because we know who the actual special interests are. And I've had conservatives tell me, well, there's a lot of those fat cat unions. Lol, like I wish they were fat cat unions doing this work, but no, they're not. Unions are like a lot of them are really dysfunctional in and of themselves.
But they'll say that in comparison to the corporations, as if these corporations that are paying off politicians to let them do whatever they want, unregulated, are just scraping. They're small business owners. They're just trying to get by. They don't know how they're going to pay for their insurance and their building next. Last thing on this from Elon Musk, because he did respond to the S&P 500 knocking him off of the list here, because again, he keeps opening his mouth and he keeps doing badly to his other businesses. We saw what's happened with his Twitter deal and things happen with Tesla and how he's trying to avoid overpaying now for that because all these stocks are dropping here. So more from him on this because he did respond. Maybe he should stop. Graphic 12, you guys. He said Exxon is rated top 10 best in the world for environment, social, and governance, ESG, by S&P 500. While Tesla did make the list, ESG is a scam and it's been weaponized by phony social justice warriors. And again in the past, I voted Democrat. He went and said this some more, as if we didn't hear it the first time, because they were mostly the kindness party. That's what he cares about. But they've become the party of division and hate. So I can no longer support them and I will vote Republican. He keeps doing it. Now watch their dirty tricks campaign against me unfold. That sounds a lot like Madison Cawthorn, by the way. The trickle and the drip that kept coming out about Madison Cawthorn, he kept blaming Democrats for it. But in the end of the game, we can see who actually got to Madison Cawthorn. And also, Elon Musk can keep complaining about this on Twitter, but I don't think that changes the fact that you should probably change your business practices. Just, since you're a smart guy.